Hey guys, quick one on Ethereum. We can't trust Ethereum. I did mention we might rotate in it, and did we have a first setup in a new trend? It made that target and then it spilled all the way and ran that funnel. At that point it ceased to be reliable, and it was already showing a surprising amount of weakness. We wanted to see upside overperformance. It didn't come, and in fact the funnel run, while it has stopped here, which for now is higher than this, actually this time frame is looking weak. And it's more likely to be continuation that is really spilling off there. So Ethereum is still not worthy of our trust. I had suggested you might rotate out of Bitcoin as it met the target. We're back into trusting Bitcoin and Neo. Neo is the one I like, and maybe setting up again. I'll show you that now. But even this has got potential further downside structure in it. In other words, it can't be trusted, Ethereum. It can't be trusted, and it's not giving its punters what it wants. This could be an up, it could be a down, but it's very, very ugly spill, especially through that funnel. And bias, you would have to say, is continuation to the downside, so another push down, which would take out the lows that have been done before. So Ethereum not looking good from our perspective. That target will run you down to the sixes, low sixes, and almost from 7.3s to 6.4s, and you'll probably clear it and some. So it's just not a good thing. So that's on a relatively short time frame, admittedly, but the bottoming just doesn't come, and we got seduced slightly by a possibility of a small setup, and I want to take it back before you guys get further hurt. On Ethereum, Bitcoin is a boss. As you know, I like how this is winding up. This is the target, so it looks like it's going to wind up at the target. So it's not smashed yet down. It had a little smash down, but then it went higher. Then it's had that smash down. It's rallied. This is still calming down. This kind of selling off is usually continuation orientated. Bitcoin should be your core holding. And as I say, I'm going to suggest a bit of Neo as well. I would look at that being hopefully a high one, low one. Maybe we get some low 2 somewhere over here. So this might look like it's got a little bit of an up leg in it that could go higher than that high over there. So you end up somewhere here. That would be perfect. This is an ideal scenario. It's not a forecast. I don't know. And then you get a nice soft 3. And you might just straight away shoot up. We don't always get that much time on the 3s in crypto land. A lot of fear of missing out buyers. It's taking some getting used to. While we fly past, here's Neo. This could sell off. It could be an inverted because it's also at a target. This is what we feared a little bit for Bitcoin. So just to remind everybody of what that chart was, that was another up move for Neo. But we've got to keep trusting the continuation. Even the bad patterns have gone up. There was a little primer in the funnel there. I covered this for my premium guys as and when it was happening. I wasn't sure that this was the one, and I actually missed out on this, but a lot of the guys took it at this level and did well, so I'm delighted for them. That's what it is. I thought maybe we could have had a high 2 over here. Anyway, this is winding up again. That could be up, but in the same way could be the first down, because at one of these levels that you have a target, you could get your first proper smash down. So we'll see. We'll see on Neo. It's one to watch because it is looking like it's going to set up again. But we'll see if that turns out to be an upside or a downside. Normally we would say down, but a lot of the ones with down structure are actually going up because there's just so much chase buying. But that's quite strong down legs in the selling there, down legs in the selling there, while more graduated. And we are at a target, so you know, I'd bias to risking first in a downtrend that we'll have a little bit of a dip. But watch it, it's been very strong, and it's an accumulate coin. Quite a few people are asking about Omi's Go, OMG I think it is, over there. It's had a bit of a run, and this is what you got. Well, you did have a decent setup over here. There you go with your continuation and your breakout. There it is, as clean as day. I'll do it real quick version draw, and your 3 high and your 3 low, very tight there. Funnel would have made it. If you want to do this sort of thing, do your draws properly. You also had a fairly clear neckline over there, although that target wasn't made, and you reverse back up. So that makes this possible also for continuation. You want to see a little bit more height, and you want to assume continuation in most instances with that. So that would be a high 1, low 1, high 2, low 2. Then you would probably could have taken that as a high 3, low 3 over there with your first draw. And then you've got a bit of a wind up on your funnel over here. So it's quite an interesting structure. So this is OMG, and your midpoint would have been there, and you would have made that target. Clearly you can see that already from the melt up that occurred subsequently. You take it from the extreme highs to the extreme lows, and you would have done pretty well with that, with a bit of overperformance, because it's possibly a first setup of the scale in this new trend post the Bitcoin being unshackled. Bitcoin being very much unshackled with all the uncertainties coming out of the mix. Note how that runs there, and you have kind of a neckline just above it. So a little bit of a push up, and we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of the draw for that one, and you've got a little bit of a wind up here on your funnel level, and it spat a little bit higher. So these lines here would actually come in down there and there. That was your 3 low. So that was your setup, that was your trade. What do you do? Want a nice little decent secondary high, pull down and set up again, and Omi's Go might be one. These are slightly smaller coins, so you've got to bear in mind where they're on the market cap. Stay out of Ripple. I'm expecting that one to fall right out of the top 10 and potentially even close the whole shooting match down. Is just a very weak looking coin. I've mentioned that enough times, so I won't go into that in depth, but Bitcoin is difficult to beat outside of Neo. Most of the others are lagging. As I say, I'm not on with IOTA. Qtum gets a few friends, and Omisco is the one we've just looked at. All the others are lagging. All the others are lagging Bitcoin. You want to have a good chunk of Bitcoin. You're going to be right more often than wrong. So keep a good wedge of Bitcoin. That's the key points I wanted to go. Ethereum is once again a false dawn. So I just want to call everybody out of that. That's me. Just want to make sure people aren't all chasing Ethereum and thinking better buys. Don't like it. This is a key message of it. Once it ran that funnel, it's very negative. That setup didn't follow through beyond that point. And we did a relative, quite a creative draw. We lowered that funnel on the basis of this was breaking basically from the relative low too. So it wasn't a super strong. Some of the draws might have failed. It's just not right, Ethereum. It's still not right. Don't be calling a bottom on the sick coins. Stay out of them. I did contemplate it on account of the structure. It was too early in the big trend. The other thing that was I did put on my base camp subsequently after I'd done that coin is that we were doing a channel like this, which was very bear flag-esque, and we started reducing when we saw that, and we realized that was quite flag-like after a big bear trend. You don't want to be seeing grinding channel moves. So we actually closed our Ethereum a lot sooner, but I'm suddenly aware that I had a YouTube out where I'd said it was a possible rotate in, and I wanted to update, especially post this has just got terrible and more terrible. So sorry you get the news later than everyone else is premium and on the boards, but something to bear in mind. There was that duality of risk, and we did actually talk about that in the boards, in fact, and I highlighted it at the time, so just show you to prove that we're not after timing on that. So yes, that's it. So for me, you just can't afford not to be properly weighted in Bitcoin. Watch Neo. It could be a first setup in the downtrend. You see, that's the part I didn't like about this. Well before the funnel run, even when it was rallying, this is all part of a channel. Divergent forces on macro time frame. It's still a first upside. You recall bottoms, you were looking for trouble. We called it a first upside. However, we had this bear channel grinding in it, so there was divergent forces in there, and it turned it out. Since then, it went down, down, down. So that's was our first early warning, and I should update the chart there. It's just an absolute letdown Ethereum. That's it. I'm done. Trade safe, trade small. Keep your Bitcoins.